Hello everyone and welcome to my first bullet journal video. Today I am going to take you through what a bullet journal is, how I create mine and how it has changed my life really. So this is my journal. It's from a company called Scribble and Dot. It's got this kind of faux leather cover, little dachshund on the front. Is it dachshund or a dachshund? Let me know in the comments. And it is essentially a notebook with little faint dots all over it. Now I'm going to show you my old one in a moment, and the dots on that are a lot more pronounced. And essentially what you do is you create your own diary, planner, notebook, whatever it is you want. So we're going to start with my first kind of setups of 2021, and this is called a future log, and it's where you note down all of the months of the coming year. Because you create this kind of as you go, you need somewhere to write down any events, appointments, birthdays, anniversaries that are coming up, and then once you create the month you can transcribe them across. So this is my future log for 2021. Very simple. These are actually stickers that I bought from a company called Oops-a-Daisy, which I will link in the description, and everything you can see I just drew with lines and highlighter pens. So I literally have, this is called a Pigma Micron pen. These are amazing. And created a little banner at the top, this little kind of stardust trail, then just a load of lines, and then I just use some highlighter pens to create some kind of division on the page, and then similar for the final 6 months of 2021. We then move on to collections or trackers. So I have a health log over on this side. These stickers I got from Rebel Ink Co on Etsy. This is then a bookshelf so that I can track the books that I've read, and I'll show you my old one so you can see what it looks like completed. And then somewhere for me to mark down TV shows and series, etc. that I've watched. This is my, well, I suppose my current bullet journal, the one that I'm coming out of right now. I actually started using this one in July of 2019, so it lasted me for 18 months, which was great. This is my books I've read tracker. So each time I finish a book, I draw a book on the bookshelf and write the title of it in, and then this was my TV shows tracker. I also have a master grocery list, and this is really useful. So if you write down, if your house had burned to the ground and you needed to buy everything again, write down everything that you would need. And then when you go to make your shopping list, you can go through each category and just make sure that you haven't forgotten anything. This is the journal I'm currently in, and as you can see, the dots on this are far more pronounced, so you can see them easier. This was great when I first started journaling, but now that I've got more and more used to what I'm doing, I actually find that the paler dots are far more useful. I'm going to do a bit of a flip through of my 2020 journal and just show you how I create the spreads, what I do with them, how I use this to organise my life. So this was the moment where we said goodbye to 2019 and welcome to 2020. We all thought it was going to be a resurgence of the Roaring Twenties, and how wrong we were. As many of you know, I'm a calligrapher, so I use my journal to play with new font styles and calligraphy styles, and I particularly enjoyed doing this kind of Art Deco 20s theme. So we get into January. This is called a splash page, and it's where you kind of introduce your new month. If you're particularly artistic, you can draw things on here. Now, I'm not overly artistic, but like I say, I'm a calligrapher, so I like to do calligraphy stuff. And then I have over here my month and then my timetable for the month. So this is where you would go back to your future log and write in any dates that you would need to. Then we go on to the week spreads. Now this is where I was doing what we call one-page weeklies. So you can see here that I've got all of the days of the week, then a task list and a notes, and then the second week goes on the next page. As my year went on, I found that one page just was no longer enough. But sometimes things would be fairly empty, sometimes things would be incredibly busy. This is February, which is possibly one of my favourites. My theme for February was the Disney film Up, so everything was the house and the balloons. And as you can see, lots and lots of balloons. And then this week didn't really get used. I believe that was half-term week. Do you know what? That's okay. If you have a week where nothing happens, or you have a week where you just don't want to sit down with your journal, fine, don't do it. It's your journal, so don't worry about it. March was sunflowers. I did a much bigger calendar spread for March, and I'm really glad we did, because that's the month we went into lockdown. April I hated, so April was a cityscape, and I just found that I got to the end of drawing it and thought, well, that looks awful. So when I then went into my week and month, I literally just did it with lines. There was no artwork on the months at all. It was all just done with line art, line work. May is my birthday month, so I did some Disney kind of doodles. Minnie Mouse is my style icon, so she was my splash page for that one. And then this was the lanterns from Rapunzel. Then we have Alice in Wonderland, Just Keep Swimming. As you can see on this one, I started doing 2 pages for a week at this point, because I was finding that I was having to film, edit, and I had my tasks. Plus then I was doing Zoom calls, or I was, you know, having to do FaceTimes with various students. So I started doubling up and found that actually, as the lockdown continued, I needed it more and more. This was a planning schedule for the hair videos that I did over July and August last year. And I use these kind of setups all the time. So every now and again you will get to a page where I've got a project and I can write down, so in this case, the video ideas, so what kind of hairstyles I wanted to do, then the name of the video, had it been filmed, edited, uploaded, thumbnail picture, and scheduled. I had planned on doing a heck of a lot more of the hair necessities videos, but time just ran away with me. August's theme was kite, comments. September is traditionally my back to school theme, and I really did enjoy this one. So the quote I did for that month was, "You're off to great places, today is your day, your mountain is waiting, so get on your way." Who do you think that quote is from? Let me know in the comments. This was the planning for a very Mayzmusik Christmas, so you can see all of the videos that we had planned. Then these were the videos that actually went up. I kind of was over ambitious with the amount of space I needed, but I figured it was better to have more space than not enough. We get into October, which is traditionally my Harry Potter month. Every October for 3 years now I have done a Harry Potter theme for October, and this one was really fun to do. November was geometry, so I actually used some stencils from Oops-a-Daisy and some washi tape from Oops-a-Daisy to create this. I also started adding in a notes page because I found that I go to a committee meeting once a month, which is actually via Zoom at the moment. Plus I had various different things that I just needed to scribble down somewhere. This is a new kind of mindfulness spread for me, and it's called a stress tracker. Some people will do a mood tracker so that you can sort of track what mood you had that day. For mine, I did a stress tracker. So the red is days of high stress, green is for medium, and the pale blue is for low. And it's so that I can see when I had periods of stress. Sometimes you can feel like you spent the entire month stressed out, but when you actually look at this, there's far more blue on the page than there is red. So thanks very much for joining me today. Let me know if you've got any questions in the comments section. I will get back to as many of you as I possibly can. And I will be filming my January setup in this journal, so you can actually see how I create my bullet journal. Thanks very much, and I'll see you next time.